Great. If I can have those three people come back and join me on the carpet with all the other young people and children that are in the congregation today. Come on, be brave, especially you young people at the back. I need as many of you here with me as possible. It's always a bit suspicious when a vicar gets up with a plastic bag full of something. So for those of you who I've not met before, or who've never met me, I am Revd Louise, and I am one of the clergy team here at St. John's, Hoxton. We're going to get ourselves sorted. Youth at the back, you're not going to come and join me. I might actually be calling on you to come and help me out, actually, in a minute. Before we go any further, that was amazing. Well done. We have such talented young people and children in our church. We are going to watch a video that just captures, again, the story that we just heard. I want you to pay real attention because I'm going to be asking you some questions.
Jesus had some good friends named Mary, Martha, and their brother Lazarus. Now they lived in a place called Bethany. One day when Jesus was away, Lazarus became very sick, and his sisters became really worried about him, so they sent for Jesus. When Jesus heard about his friend Lazarus, he said to his disciples, "This sickness will not end in death." Jesus waited 2 days before leaving to go back to Bethany. This is something that puzzled his disciples. By the time Jesus arrived in Bethany, Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. When Jesus met Mary and Martha, he said to them, "Your brother will rise again." Martha thought this might mean that she had to wait until the end of time to see her brother again. But Jesus meant something a little bit different. "I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live, even though he dies," Jesus explained. Martha believed Jesus, but didn't really understand how he could help Lazarus. Jesus went with them to Lazarus' tomb, where a large stone covered the entrance. Jesus commanded that the stone be taken away, and then he prayed to his heavenly Father. "Lazarus, come out!" Jesus shouted. Lazarus came out of the tomb, still wrapped in his grave clothes. He was alive! Many people who saw this miracle then believed in Jesus. Jesus had performed such a great miracle that people then believed God had sent him.
Brilliant. That's just a quick recap. Now, I'm going to have to move some furniture around because I need to be able to have, well, first of all, 2 volunteers that don't mind don't mind being wrapped up in something. Otis, brilliant. I need one more volunteer. Naima, thank you very much. Come on then, come and stand here. Now I need another 4 volunteers who, they don't mind being wrapped up in something, but I need 4 volunteers that don't mind doing the wrapping. There's one here, one here. I need 2 more. There you go. I knew some of the youth couldn't resist it. Destiny, come and join me. So one here. I need 1 more person. Hannah, brilliant. That's brilliant. So I want you to remember the picture of what it must be like, what it must have been like. Move this way. Because on that story, I noticed that when Lazarus came out of the tomb, although it said he came out and he was dressed in all his grave clothes, but he wasn't, was he? He was in a nice little purple snazzy number. So I think we have to, when we're kind of representing Scripture properly, give you the proper picture of what it must have looked like. So we have our two Lazaruses, and we have some toilet paper. Oh, now, I think most of these I've pulled open. So, your challenge is, in the minute that I give you, just a minute, I want you to do your very best to wrap your Lazarus up in grave clothes. And at the end, so this side I want you to be shouting for Naamah, okay? And this, even though they're both Lazarus, properly. And this side I want you to be shouting for Otis. And then we'll see the job that our children and young people have done representing Lazarus. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. You've got a minute. Come on, shout. Naamah, 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 Naamah. Otis, 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 Otis. Come on, guys. Oh, no. Come on, keep going, keep going. You've got about 40 seconds left. Oh, Naamah, Hannah's working from the bottom. Okay, brilliant. Ede's working from the bottom. Destiny's working from the top. We've got about 30 seconds. Where's the cheering? Come on. No cheering. Come on, church. Cheering. Woo! Poor Otis is slowly disappearing. He looks like Scrooge like that, doesn't he? Okay. Keep going. You've got about 20 seconds left. Come on, guys. There's more toilet paper on the stage, and I think that... Okay, 15 seconds left. The moral of the story is don't buy cheap toilet paper. Okay, 10 seconds with me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. As they say in Bake Off, please step away from your benches or your Lazarus. Okay, well, all I can see is from the back. So let's have a look. I'm going to come down here and stand here. Wow. I'm going to ask for some help in the judging now. So let me see. Ben. Who do you think? It's all on Ben now. Not me. Nobody's going to blame me afterwards. Ben, who do you think is the most covered Lazarus? Is it this one or is it this one? Naamah or Otis? Naamah! Woo! And one other accolade. Who do you think is the most best dressed Lazarus? So you've got the most coverage and the most beautiful. I know, look at that. Look at this here. It's like a sash, isn't it? So do you think Otis? Oh, brilliant, Otis. Give them a round of applause, guys. Guys, can you do me a favour? Take the paper away. Brilliant. I've got our youth group that are on the stage are going to help me to get rid of. I promise you we will recycle it. I promise you. One of the marks of mission, caring for the environment. Thank you. Just put it on the Great. Find a seat, guys. They're being very thorough. Excellent. So, find a seat again. Thank you to some members of our youth group as well. So we've heard the account of Lazarus. We've watched it on the TV up there. We have acted it out, or at least the grave clothes bit. But I wonder, those questions I was going to ask you, who can tell me what people are in the story? Who can you remember from the story? Anybody? Who can you remember from the story? Name her.
Lazarus.
Lazarus. Good. Main person in the story. Who else? Otis, shout it out. Jesus was in the story. Brilliant. Who else? Gabriel. Toilet paper was in the story. The grave clothes was in the story. That's right. Anybody else? What other people were in the story? Jesus, Lazarus. Jesus was, well done. Otis. Mary and her sister. Sorry? 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Mary and Martha. Now, often in this story, we don't actually think about how the different characters feel, because we're very lucky. We didn't have to live that story. We can start reading, and then we can read all the way through to the end, where something incredible, an incredible miracle happens. But the experience for Mary and Martha was very different. So at the beginning, guys, how do you think Mary and Martha felt when their brother was very, very sick? How do you think?
Upset.
Upset, yes. Anything else? Shout it out, Gabriel. Happy. Maybe they wanted to be happy, but they were upset. How else might they have felt, do you think? Otis? Worried. So at the beginning of the story, they're not having a very good time. And what did they do when they were worried? Looking at you two down here. What did they do? When they were worried about their brother, what did they do? Anybody in the congregation? Toby, brilliant. Can you really shout from there? He was dead, but he was like sick for a bit, and then he died. Jesus. What did Jesus do? He talked to them, that's right. Because what Mary and Martha did is that they sent for Jesus, didn't they? Now, I need some more help. There's lots of helping today, which is brilliant. So if you didn't want to be wrapped up and you didn't want to do the wrapping, who feels they can come up and hold a piece of paper? That's a bit less challenging, isn't it? Well, I've got 5 bits of paper, so I need 5 people. Toby, brilliant. Gabriel, you need to come down to the front. Jonathan's coming. One there. Let's see, how many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4. I need one more. Well done. Here's Jonathan. No, I've got everybody I need, Aola.
Said you need one more.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can help. Actually, you can do something else to help me. Can you hold that up for me? And can you hold that up for me? Okay, Aola, can you just stand there and have a look? Can you read that word for me? From here. What does that say? Phonics. That helps, doesn't it? That helps. There's another lesson for me just right there. Okay, what does that say, Ola, starting from that? Exclamation mark. Is that a word? No. Okay. So do you think you can rearrange our people so that that actually says a word for me? Here we go. So, they're all doing it themselves. That's great. When the object talk sorts itself out, that's even better. Okay, what does that say, Iola? What does that say now? Help. So, for those that are learning phonics, exclamation point! Exclamation point up. Okay, so the other thing we do sometimes in school is we call it my turn, your turn. So my turn, help! Your turn. Help! Okay, we try that one more time. My turn, help! Your turn. Help! Brilliant. Give them a round of applause. You can take it with you, guys. Take your sheet with you. That is what Mary and Martha did. They called for help from Jesus. So when they were worried for their brother, perhaps they were confused that Jesus hadn't managed to arrive on time. And then eventually they were so sad because their brother had died. But when Jesus does arrive, he comforts them, doesn't he? And he tells them that that's not the end of the story. And because they knew Jesus well, in fact, they were some of Jesus' best friends. They knew that if Jesus was involved, one way or another, it would all be okay. But it's true that they were still sad. They still needed Jesus' comfort and support. And when we face difficult things, whether we face difficult things at school or at home or in our workplace or in our family, when things don't go as we'd like them to go, when we experience feelings like they did of confusion or sadness, perhaps even feeling angry, we can call out to Jesus for help, just like they did. In fact, even if things are going amazingly well in your life, you've got everything you ever dreamed of, actually the Bible tells us to still call out to Jesus for help, to live the kind of life that we were always created to live. And we've done that already this morning for Rob and Rosie and Otis and little Primrose. We've asked for Jesus' help for this next period of time. And in just a moment, when we baptize two lovely little ones, part of our church family here, we, the parents and the godparents, and we as a church will be asking for God's help to help these little ones grow in the family of God, to know his love, to walk in his ways. Because we can't do that alone. We need each other. We need each other to help. Now, I don't know where you are in your journey. You might be like me, kind of 30 years down the road of the journey of faith. Lots of you thinking, so how old is she? How old is she? If she's been like a Christian for 30 years. You might be right at the beginning of your journey. Just finding out what Jesus is like and what it means to follow him. You might be somebody who started that journey and then just got really disillusioned and sat down on the side of the road. I'm not going any further. You might be sat there thinking, I don't even know if all of this is true. The people up there talking about Jesus and Jesus' help. I'm not even sure that that's true for me. Wherever you are in your journey, you can turn to Jesus for help. And he will never let you down. I think Sarah is going to come and teach us a song.